All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're talking about Japan. It's a place of wild contrasts, deep, ancient tradition, right alongside mind-bending futuristic tech. And for anyone on the outside, it can feel like a totally uncrackable code. But what if I told you that the secret to cracking that code, to really getting a handle on the Japanese psyche, was hidden inside something as simple, as humble, as a box of dried fish? I know, it sounds a little nuts, but just stick with me. This is exactly where our whole story kicks off. Our guide for this is Pisan Manawapat. He's a former Thai ambassador to Japan. So this is the guy who spent years deep inside this world. And he says that for him, the first real clue to understanding everything started with a simple gift. So a Japanese friend gives him this small box of dried fish. The kind you just sprinkle on rice. But the way it was presented, the wrapping, the paper, the simple little tie, it was so perfect, the ambassador literally couldn't bring himself to open it. And that one little moment, it explains so much. For a lot of us, packaging is just a container, right? It's trash you tear open and throw away. But in Japan, the presentation is a huge part of the experience. It signals respect, care, and a deep commitment to detail. The big question, though, is why? Why this obsession? And to get that, we need to look back at their history.
See, this obsession with perfection didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It was forged in the fire of a really dramatic and often traumatic history that, believe me, still shapes the national character today.
Okay, so this isn't just a history lesson. Every single one of these moments is a layer of the code. It really kicks into high gear in 1868, the Meiji Restoration. The mission was simple and brutal: modernize or get colonized. Then in 1905, they shocked the world by defeating Russia, a huge European power. It was the first time an Asian nation had done that, and it supercharged their confidence. But Japan's an island. It has almost no natural resources. So they followed the colonial playbook: expand or die. Now, they framed it as liberating Asia, but that path led straight to Pearl Harbor and ultimately to the atomic bombs, a national trauma that's completely unique since they're the only country to have ever suffered a nuclear attack. So here's a really crucial point the ambassador makes about what happened next. After World War II, Germany's path involved a very public reckoning, an acknowledgement of guilt. Japan's story was different. Because of the sheer horror of the war's end, the dominant view inside Japan became one of victimhood, not of aggression. And the ambassador puts it bluntly with this quote: "This mindset is at the heart of the controversy around the Yasukuni Shrine, which honors all of Japan's war dead, including Class A war criminals. To many Japanese people, it's about honoring soldiers. But to its neighbors, it's a sign that Japan has never really faced its past. And this incredibly complex history, it's the bedrock of the society you see today." Now, that history didn't just get filed away. It created a society that runs on a really complex set of unwritten rules, a social contract that dictates pretty much everything. And the core concept, the key to it all, is something called groupism. In the West, we're all about individualism. But in Japan, your main identity comes from the group you're a part of, your company, your school, your club. Belonging to that group is everything. And you can see this groupism play out perfectly in something as simple as exchanging a business card. It's not just a swap, it's a ritual. You offer it with two hands, you receive it with two hands, you study it carefully. And here's the key: look at the information. First comes the big company name, say Mitsubishi, then the department, then the person's title. Their actual name is last. The group defines who you are. Okay, and this is where it gets really fascinating, because this social contract creates these incredible paradoxes. Public spaces, immaculate. You could eat off the streets. But private homes can be a total mess. The politeness rituals are extreme. But then it's also kind of socially acceptable for a guy to pee on the side of a road. And the workday is super rigid, serious, and hierarchical. But after hours, those same serious office workers are out for a wild, drunken release. It's a society with incredibly strict rules and very specific, accepted ways to let off steam. And the system itself is famously rigid. The ambassador shares this perfect little story. You're at a hotel breakfast. The menu has
fried eggs, scrambled eggs, poached eggs, but not boiled. His advice? Don't even think about asking for a boiled egg. To you, it's a simple request, but to that kitchen, you've just thrown a grenade into the system. You just don't deviate from the plan, ever. So if the code is this complex, this rigid, how does any outsider ever break in and succeed? Well, this is where understanding all that history and culture can give certain countries a serious built-in advantage. And the ambassador makes the case that his country, Thailand, has this kind of special relationship with Japan. First, unlike many of its neighbors, Thailand was never brutally occupied by Japan during the war. Both nations also have a deep respect for their monarchies, and they share a cultural bedrock of rice. And here's a wild one. A popular Japanese wartime novel called Ku Kam actually romanticized the Japanese-Thai relationship, creating this cultural soft spot that still exists today. Oh, and they absolutely love Thai food over there. This advantage isn't just a warm, fuzzy feeling. It translates into real, concrete numbers. Huge numbers. Japan gives Thailand an 8,000-ton tax-free quota for bananas every single year. The crazy part? For decades, Thailand hasn't been able to produce enough high-quality bananas to actually fill that quota. It's a massive opportunity, just sitting there, waiting for someone who gets the system. So what does this all boil down to? If you want to succeed in business with Japan, here are the keys. Number 1, you have to build absolute trust. If you cheat them even once, you're out forever. 2, you have to focus on long-term relationships, not a quick profit. 3, you have to obsess over the details. Think back to that fish box. And finally, you absolutely need a reliable Japanese partner because their reputation becomes your reputation. And that brings us right back to where we started. From the perfect wrapping on a box of fish to the lifetime service you get with a Toyota, the Japanese code is really about one thing: an unwavering, total commitment. Commitment to quality, commitment to the group, and commitment to the process. But that leaves us with one last big question. In a world that is all about speed, disruption, and flexibility, is this rigid, unwavering code Japan's greatest strength? The thing that guarantees quality and stability? Or is it actually its biggest vulnerability, holding it back from adapting as fast as it needs to? That's something to think about.